Hello everybody, my name is Alex and today I'm going to show you how to sample the Death Elemental by Creature Caster. So the model comes in this lovely box, and if you open up this box you will find quite some parts. To be honest, I already had a look at it, and I also put some parts out of the sprue, so I don't be confused with that. They usually are attached to some kind of these parts. So I call it the spruce, but it's not really a sprue. Anyhow, there are some parts, some bits, and some stuff, and it's really not too easy to find out how to put them together, and that's what we're going to do. So basically, the model itself is containing of this kind of vortex, which is having all these bodies and spirits on it, and then you have the death elemental itself, so the miniature, which is coming out of it like this. And the death elemental itself comes up with approximately 9 parts. If you want to assemble it with the scythe version, which I think is a cool choice, so death should definitely have a scythe like this. But you also have two other weapon options. One's with this sword, and then there's some kind of stick or something like a beat stick. then but we're going to look at the scythe assembly, and with the elemental itself having 9 parts, the vortex having 10 parts plus the base. There's quite some stuff to do, and since these parts, especially of the vortex, are almost looking all the same, and it's not really convenient to look where to put them, I think it's a good idea to go step by step through the assembly together. First thing we're going to do is to cut the pieces out of the sprue, and therefore we're going to cut the parts edges, so like this is already done, and then we have to clean it. So the next thing we are going to do is to put some extra stability to these very slim parts here. So what I'm going to be doing is we apply some wire to some of these holes to give it more stability. I already did that here. So this small wire nib over here, you can see that, and this is going to be fitting inside here like this, and this is going to be fitted here. Okay, and so we get this extra stability through this little wire nib. And well, usually it's quite difficult to attach these nibs, and what is a cool thing with the Creature Custom miniatures, that all the parts do have these little holes here, so they already gave you a pretty good idea where to put your holes. And this is exactly what we're going to do. So take all of the parts where you think it might be a good idea to add some nibs and to give it some more stability. And this is usually all the parts which are not having a big surface to put some glue on it. If you do so, make sure once you have the nib attached to one of the parts, you got to do it on the other side as well, of course, and then check whether the part is still fitting together. Make sure the nib itself is not bringing too much force, so the parts are not going to fit together. Maybe you need to shorten them later on. Well, so now that we have all parts, we can go to assembling them. Let's go! So the first thing which we're going to be assembling is the vortex. We start with the middle part and add the first part of the base to it. The next part which we're adding is the side part here, so this one. So since this is going to be some kind of spiral, I'm going to add some glue here to give it some more stability. Hopefully this is going to hold it better together later on. So, and since this is a crucial part to hold the model later on, I rather want to make sure that the glue is holding good together and giving it the stability. Well, the next part is a little bit tricky because this part here is someone giving the back structure or the back hold on the base, and it's going to be fitted on the back side here like this. And has to be attached to the base later on. However, what we don't want to do now is to attach it to the base at the moment, because you will not be able to paint the base later on as nice as if you would put it on there. So what we want to do now is make sure it fits into the base with this back structure here, and still leave it unassembled. So now the hardest part is already done, and we now apply some of these extra ghosts on the outside of the vortex. So this one's coming up here. Next thing is this other part here, which is like giving some spirits on the other side. And this is going to be fitting in there. Next up is this little dude. Don't be confused with that one. This one is a little bit smaller, and this dude comes over here on the back side. Well, and now we're gonna pull up this one. So the other part. And this one goes down here. So there. Now we only have two structural additions, and this is one of them. And it really took me some time to figure out where this fits to. And it actually comes from the back side. So there's this one. And it goes there. So this gives, I don't know if this really gives you some structural addition or something, but yeah, it's going to be like this. Now the last part is this one, which is really hard to figure out where to put it. So it's on the back side, and it gives additional support between that part here, which goes on the back side on the base, and this upward stream here. So now we got the vortex basically assembled. I think it's looking pretty nice like this, and we still have the base to be painted later on, and I just want to make sure that it's fitting to the base on. What a pity, like this. Now it's fitting. And this is the vortex. Maybe I'm going to put some more nibs down there to make sure like the stability of this attachment is going to be good, but I think for now this is it for the vortex right now. It looks pretty cool, as I think. Okay, so next up is the Death Elemental now. And first we're going to attach the shoulder to the Death Elemental like this. So with this done, we're going to assemble the scythe first before we attach it to the arm. And therefore we're taking those two parts here. So now on the back side, there comes this little horn here, which comes over there. Alright, and now we attach the scythe to the arm, and this is where this little snippet here goes in. Now to add some additional support to the arm right here, there is this tiny part here. Make sure you get it out of the sprue and you don't get the impression that this is some leftover or something which you don't need. But it really, I believe this somewhat adds to the stability of the scythe and the arm in total, and it fits like this. Now we want to attach the other arm to the Death Elemental. However, it is a crucial point, because that arm is going to have some kind of flame, because it's grabbing the vortex somewhat. And to make sure that this is fitting good, we will first attach the flame on the back on the hand like this. And then we're gonna assemble the arm in a way that it is later linking to the vortex. Okay, and after having this assembled now, we can have a look at how the death elemental is later going to be put on the vortex. And as said, like, the hand is going to grab some flame or some souls out of there, and we really want to make sure that this is fitting later on pretty nice. And therefore I recommend to take your vortex now and then assemble the arm on the death elemental while holding it to the vortex like this. And the final thing to do is the back part. So now we got the model assembled, and what we're now going to do is get rid of the gaps in between the parts. And for that I will use a trick which I found from Geek Gaming Scenics on how to fill gaps on models with super glue and some baking soda. So what we need is the super glue and some baking soda, which is sodium carbonate. And this is really fast hardening the super glue, obviously. And what we're going to do is putting some super glue in there and then putting on some of this stuff. So I went around the model with the baking soda right now and the super glue, and closed all the gaps and cracks, and as you can see, this all like pretty much looks pretty solid, so it's pretty nice. So even at the big cracks right here, you can still see it, but to be honest, I cannot really feel it. So let's see how this looks when we paint this up. But I'm happy with this. So big thank you to Geek Gaming Scenics. So he gave me that trick. Well, that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you next time. Bye bye.